Okay guys, it's your boy Salvajee from the Salvajee Cartel. So we're back with another Widowmaker coaching video. This is my own gameplay that we're going to be taking a look at in today's coaching video. I want to take a look at accuracy throughout this video, and I want to take a look at team play. Okay, so Overwatch is a team-based game. I think we all know that, and every single person in the team has a role to play. If they're not playing the role correctly, guess what? You're probably most likely going to lose the match. I lost this match because of two reasons. So one reason is I wasn't able to play my role on a specific team fight of the video, and of course we're going to talk about how to deal with that when we get to that part of the video. And the second reason why I lost this match is because in the end game my team was just not able to play their roles correctly, and that's why we lost. That moves me forward to my next topic. A big misconception about Widowmakers is that they need to be carrying all the time and they need to be landing all their shots. That's just not a realistic perspective to have on Widowmaker players and Widowmaker in general, alright? For example, sometimes I have games where I carry and I land all my shots, but the reality is I've been playing too much Fortnite and my aim was just mediocre this game. It wasn't terrible, I was landing the shots that I needed to land, but it wasn't perfect either to a point where I can carry my team. And of course, that's okay, because again, it's a team-based game, and if I'm able to at least get 2 picks on a team fight, if I get 3 picks on a team fight, the team fight is basically just 1, right? Well, we'll see how that goes out. I want to touch upon accuracy, and I just want to point out also, I'm not going to have audio on the video because I was talking on the video, and I don't want, like, you know, both of my voices to go alive with each other. So, like I said, I want to touch upon accuracy. A lot of Widowmaker players, you know, they said, you know, I've seen a couple of posts on the Overwatch subreddit, on the Overwatch University subreddit, you know, Widowmaker players saying, I used to have 60% accuracy or so, I used to have 50% accuracy, now it's like in the 30s and 40s. The reality is that the 30s, well, not the 30s, but like the 40s or so, like 35 and above, you know, 35 to like 50, that's like the new 50 to like 65%. And the reason for that is because back in the day when you would shoot a barrier, it will count as an accurate shot. But for some reason now, when you contribute to destroying the barrier, it doesn't count as an accurate shot. So if your accuracy has dropped down with Widow, it's not that you're a bad player. Listen, you're still a great player. Your accuracy hasn't changed, okay? It's just that they made that change with barriers and stuff, okay? Also, don't give a shit about accuracy. I don't give a shit about stats. I don't give a shit about ranking when it comes down to playing Widowmaker. All I focus on is what can I do to become a better player. Alright, and what can I do to improve? You know, this guy right off the bat, he's demanding a tank and a healer. He's saying please, but you know what? People like that just trigger me. I want to play Widowmaker with a clear head, with a clear mind. Alright, I don't want any complainers on chat. I want to be concentrated on the task at hand, so I'm just going to go ahead and squelch him. Okay? Remember guys, Widowmaker is a very demanding hero psychologically, so you want to make sure that you're on your, I guess you could say, on your best mindset when you go into a match. If you see a guy that annoys you, just squelch him. Alright? It doesn't matter that, you know, it's mean that you squelch him. It doesn't matter that it's mean that you mute him. What matters is what matters to you, not what other people think you should do or you shouldn't do. Alright, this match was a very, like, it had a very weird beginning. So we get a Roadhog over here. Look, like I said, okay, this match, my accuracy wasn't that great. Okay, but look at the first thing that I do on this encounter. I place my crosshair somewhere along the Roadhog's head because I want to go for a headshot. Okay, the Roadhog, of course, retreats because he knows if he stays there for one more fight, he's going to get a headshot to the head. I see a Hanzo, right? I hear a sound cue. You know, sometimes, I'm going to give you a tip with Widowmaker, right? This is why I love these Widowmaker coaching videos, because sometimes I can point things out that I can't point things on, you know, that I can't point out on, like, when I'm making a guide or something. But if you guys hear a sound cue when you're Widowmaker, alright, and you know that it's around you, and you sort of, you know, don't know where it is, do a grapple shot, because you're going to have sort of like an aerial view of the area, and then you're going to be able to see who's around you and stuff. Okay, I hear this Hanzo, I want to take him out, but this Zenyatta is just a god, and he just ends up taking him out. Okay, I love the tricolor Widowmaker skin, by the way. I'm kind of glad they brought it back, but also not glad. Look, right here, what am I doing, right? Crosshair placement. I have my crosshair somewhere along the lines of where the enemy team is going to be, and of course that's what's going to help me get those accurate shots. You know, sometimes people, I forgot to download Epic Pen, damn it man. You know, sometimes people are wondering, hey, you know what, like my aim with Widowmaker is like really bad, right? And those are the same people that have their crosshair somewhere like around here, like around the floor. Okay, so remember guys, when it comes down to improving your accuracy, you gotta ask yourself, is my crosshair placement correctly? Am I placing the crosshair where it needs to be? Okay, and next on the next fight, you guys are going to see a pretty good example of crosshair placement and how it can actually help you improve your accuracy. And look, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, right? You're not going to improve your accuracy from one day to the next. Okay, guys, it's just not gonna be that way. You know, if you want to improve at Widowmaker, specifically when it comes down to accuracy, you need to be playing the game a lot. All right, let's talk about target prioritization. I wasn't pressing tab. Okay, I completely forgot that the enemy team had a Hanzo, and that's basically why I got killed by the Hanzo there. All right, you want to make sure at the beginning of the match that you're pressing tab. You want to see the threats that are in the enemy team, okay, and how you're going to prioritize those threats. For example, Hanzo is a character that needs to go ASAP. Look, reticle placement, crosshair placement, whatever you want to call it, that's something that I'm doing right here. I'm having the crosshair somewhere around the head. I know I'm going to get a headshot here eventually, and guess what happens? I get a headshot just because of crosshair placement. I just got unlucky, and you know, like these aren't inaccurate shots. You guys have to, you know, also realize when you're taking inaccurate shots, when you're taking shots that are accurate. Okay, those were just accurate shots. It's just that they jumped right out of the way at the right time. Okay, I see a Junkrat. I wasn't going for the headshot there, but you know, I wasn't going to be able to take it out. Listen, so my Venomine placement in this match is also trash. But then again, there's some matches where the Venomine just isn't really something that you should use. That's actually a misplay by me. You know, I shouldn't have done that. My team's getting destroyed. You guys remember when I talked about team play, right? You know, team play is very important when you're playing Widowmaker. If you have a couple of teammates that aren't performing or that they're not playing right, guess what? It's just not going to work out, right? So right here in this team fight, I'm getting healed, right? And there's a Zenyatta behind me. But for some reason, all right, Zenyatta just keeps on moving forward, all right? And then the Orisa that we have just goes somewhere around here, okay? Like, you know, I saw the Orisa moving forward, and then I saw the Zenyatta, and I was like, all right, I guess they're going to be moving straight forward to the point. But no, Zenyatta just keeps on going, like, in this direction over here where he can get killed. And then, of course, Orisa goes, like, all the way over here. Now, of course, the Zenyatta on my team, he was actually really, really good. He realizes this, and then, of course, he goes and gets some better positioning, as you guys can see. The orbs are coming from this direction, okay, so that means he got some actual good positioning. But let's just take a look at one of the other teammates that just wasn't able to, you know, play her role correctly. So this right here, this chevron right here, this is Moira. So Moira's a healer. Moira's not a DPS. And for some reason, Moira thinks it's a good idea. Hey, you know what? I'm just going to be out there. I'm just going to go out there on my own. All right. Genji is over here and Sombra's over here, as you guys can see. And Moira is all the way over there. All right, for some reason. Okay, now, of course, I guess you could say she has some good positioning to heal the Orisa, but no, she just goes ahead and gets killed. Okay, by the Junkrat. My Zenyatta finishes off, you know, the Junkrat that killed my lady. My Moira, I mean. So right here, look. I'm gonna make a guide on this in the future. I lost my cursor. I'm going to make a guide on this in the future, on Widowmaker guide. I'm going to be going into detail on some of the ults that you can combo and all that stuff. But a couple of people, you know, they think that comboing ults, you know, you can only do it when you're doing with two ults at the same time. That's wrong. Sombra and Widowmaker is a really powerful combination. If the Sombra EMPs the team, you can just go ham with Widowmaker. There's not going to be any abilities that are going to get to you. My friend Landon tells me that. I'm not having the greatest aim ever. So, you know, I can't take out the Mercy. But it's alright. I take out the Hanzo. Now, a lot of you great Widowmaker players, you guys are noticing something here, right? Yeah, that's right. Bad positioning. So I recognize that, okay? Because the thing is, guys, as you're playing Widowmaker in the game, you want to constantly be asking yourself the questions, you know, do I have good positioning? Do I have a line of sight on the team? Do I have a line of sight on the enemy team? What can I do better in this situation? And right there, all right, 1 second, I'm getting a phone call. All right, so right there, you know, I tell myself, all right, what am I doing in this encounter? Am I actually playing Widowmaker to the fullest potential here? And then I'm like, you know what? I'm not playing her to the fullest potential because guess what? I'm not in a good position. So right here, I come back in here. You know, my Genji goes ham. Okay, I'm able to get some better positioning, and I'm able to pick off Diana, and I'm able to pick off this Roadhog. I'm going to get comfortable real quick. But of course, it doesn't matter. My Genji gets picked off by this McCree. Now, look. In this encounter right here, let me actually put my phone on Do Not Disturb so we don't get interrupted again. You know, so in this encounter right here, I know the McCree is weak because the Genji, you know, damaged this McCree, right? So I want to take out the McCree, but I also want to be in a position, like I know the McCree is the only one on the point, and I know there's going to be people coming into the point. So right here, I want to be in a position where I can look at the point, I can keep the McCree on check, I can keep him from playing defensively, Okay, I don't want him to be the aggressor. I don't want him to push me. And I also want to be in a position where I can look at the enemy team. Okay, so sometimes with Widowmaker, right? This happens a lot with Widow, right? You know, since you're in the high ground, you know, your team just gets wiped. But your team also wipes out a couple of people. When something like that happens, you want to make sure that you're in a position where you might be able to take out some people that are in the point. Or, of course, you want to be able to be in a position where you can help out your team when they're coming back. And, of course, in a position where you can also snipe, you know, the teammates that are coming back in. Like I said, you know, my accuracy just wasn't the greatest. Look, I see a Hanzo. I missed my shot on him. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to back away, and then I'm going to take out the McCree. And the reason why I did that is because Hanzo's probably still aiming over here to the high ground. But guess what? I took out his McCree. Alright, because I'm not in there. Now Hanzo's distracted on the people at the bottom. I'm going to miss a shot on him. I hear that he activates storm arrows, and I'm not a suicidal Widowmaker. I'm not a dumbass. I'm not someone that complains about Hanzo when I'm Widowmaker, because I know every single Hanzo death that I get with Widowmaker is for the most part 10% luck and 90% skill on the Hanzo's part, right? So I hear storm arrows and I move out of my way because there's no reason for me to engage the Hanzo when he has storm arrows activated. Why? Like, do I want to get killed? Of course not. Alright? Crosshair placement. I landed that shot because my crosshair was somewhere among the lines. Like I said, you know, my accuracy wasn't the greatest in this game, but it still doesn't mean that I'm not going to be able to help out my team. And of course, I do want to point out, you know, in this game was great. I was landing every single shot that needed to be landed. Except, of course, later on in the game. We're going to get into that soon, right? So I push right in here, right? I push right in here. I see this Mercy, right? And I want to take out the Mercy as fast as possible. And the reason why I want to take out the Mercy is because she used Guardian Angel, which means that she can't use Guardian Angel to go to the bottom ground again. One of my critical tips for Mercy that I showed you guys in my 3 critical tips against Mercy video is you want to take out people that are creating space for Mercy. But I realized, look, there were a Hanzo and a D.Va out here, and another Widowmaker was all the way over here as well, right? And then there was a Reinhardt up there and a Mercy. So if I would have focused on the 3 people that were here, that were creating space for Mercy, I would have just died. Or the Mercy would have just started shooting me with her pistol, okay? So I'm not going to do that. Instead of taking out people that are creating space for Mercy in this encounter, I'm just going to take out the Mercy first. I see the Hanzo, I take him out. So that's 2 picks that I've gotten so far. That's 3 picks, right? My Genji picks off the McCree. I take out the Reinhardt. That's 4 picks. And a lot of Widowmakers, they get into these situations just like me, right? Where they're like, holy shit, I just got 4 picks. Like, we should definitely win this. But you don't. You don't win this, right? My team's doing a pretty good job out here. I take out the Widow, but guess what happens? The Hanzo takes me out. I couldn't do anything there, right? Now, let's take a look at this team fight as it goes on. We're going to be taking a look at the kill feed. So I see my Moira. She's healing people, all of that good stuff. D.Va's hacked. Moira's going to start using her ultimate, and for some reason, she's going to start aiming at the Mercy. Alright, it ends up working out. You know, this guy Caesar rocks. He gets a double kill with Dragon Blade. He gets a triple kill. And at this point, I think, oh, that's it. We won. I was telling Landon, dude, that's it. We won the match. But the enemy team has a Mei. Alright, and my team just isn't able to prioritize the Mei. They're taking out the D.Va. Landon takes out the Mei, obviously, because I'm communicating with him, and I'm telling him, dude, you need to take out that Mei. But guess what? It doesn't happen. Alright, right here, I see I see a Zenyatta activating Transcendence. I see a Genji. And look, guys, this is a perfect example. You know, when you're playing with Widowmaker, sometimes you're just going to miss all your shots when they matter the most. And what you guys need to do, you know, this is kind of like also more like a psychological VOD on psychological tips, alright? Because playing Widowmaker can sometimes be very, very tough on yourself, okay? You know, right here in this encounter, we would have won the match if I would have landed all the shots that I needed to land, okay? But you guys have to realize that, you know, you're not a godlike Widowmaker. And this example right here, this video right here, this gameplay right here is a perfect example that there's a lot of improvement that I need to put in with Widowmaker. There's a lot of work that I need to put in with Widowmaker if I ever decide to, you know, get off Fortnite. Like, geez, I've been playing that game so much. Alright, but yeah, right here my team just gets entirely wiped, and it's because it's my fault. At this moment I realize we could have won the match, alright, except that it was my fault. Alright, I didn't land the shots that needed to be landed in there. Okay, so what I realized at that moment, I'm like, all right, so I'm missing a lot of my shots. I'm not being as accurate, so I'm gonna play more around my team. I'm going to push with my team because clearly I'm not in a state where I can carry the game. We're gonna fast forward 30 seconds. All right. Oh, that's right. So I did say we're gonna have a small focus on accuracy. So on that fight, right? As you guys can clearly see, I was moving so much. That's also another reason why I was missing all my shots, right? I was moving so much, I wasn't taking any centered shots. As you guys can see, every time I shoot, I'm like moving to the left and the right. Why? Why are you doing that, Salvajee? Because you're a fucking noob and you need to improve. That's why, alright? It's common mistakes. It's these common mistakes that just make you become a bad Widowmaker. These bad habits. Right here, I was 100% completely safe. I had no one prioritizing me. I could have gotten, you know, cover behind this wooden stick here. Alright, and I could have just been taking centered shots. What are centered shots? Centered shots is when you have an easy shot, you know, when the opponent isn't aware of your position, when they're just standing still. Alright, you just stand still and then you go for the final blow. Alright, but I didn't do that here. Alright, I didn't do that here, and guess what? I learned from it. So on the next encounter, I realized that one of the biggest mistakes that I did on the previous fight is that I was being too impatient with my shots. I wasn't taking the time. And I just want to point out again on this VOD review, I'm not telling you to stand 100% still with Widowmaker on every single shot that you take, alright? If you think that you're a fucking dumbass. What I'm telling you, however, is that if you know that you have an easy shot, if you know that you're 100% safe, alright, make sure that you take an accurate shot, alright? When you're moving too much with Widowmaker and you're shooting, you can overshoot and undershoot, alright? So look, right here, I know I'm 100% safe. So I'm going to stay still every time I'm going to take a shot, alright? And I'm going to pick off this May. And the reason why I was able to do that is because, of course, I took a centered shot. I was standing still. Like I said earlier on the video, alright, the second half of the game, 5 minutes, we kind of lost it because our team just wasn't performing as well, alright? Not because it was my fault. I mean, we clearly lost the game because it was my fault, alright? But, again, you know, that's the thing about Overwatch, right? Every team fight, you have a brand new encounter to redeem yourself. Okay, right here, I get the Winston. My Orisa's right here. My Zenyatta's right here. I'm expecting the Orisa to push forward. This was the same guy that was demanding a tank and a healer. Alright, look, don't demand picks if you're not going to play your pick correctly. So Orisa, for some reason, she's just here. She just doesn't move. You know, and now, of course, my Moira is out there being a DPS Moira. See, you know, that's also just the thing about Overwatch sometimes. You know, sometimes the team isn't performing well, and then you have that one teammate that says, you know what, my team isn't doing anything, so I'm just going to do all the work. Like, that Moira was probably like, my team isn't doing shit, so I'm just going to be a DPS Moira. So if I would have lost that previous fight, I mean, which I did, right, I could have just simply said, you know what, my team isn't doing anything, so I'm just going to have to carry with Widowmaker. And I could have just gone off on my own, gotten picked off, and all that stuff. But you can't do that. You have to have a clear mindset. Alright, right here I told myself, alright, I'm playing like shit. Alright, I'm going to have to play around my teammates. I take out this May. Zenyatta's right here. Alright, now, why did I mention that Zenyatta's right there? You guys will see soon, right? I take out this Hanzo. Alright. I take out, you know, Lionel takes out this Mercy. Oh, never mind, it was the Moira. Now, you guys remember when I said Zenyatta's right here, right? Well, guess what, boys? Do you guys know who's supposed to be on the front line? The Orisa. So this Orisa, right, she was basically, throughout this entire team fight, right, she was here this entire time. And our healers were literally in the front line doing damage. Oh my god, this is a really embarrassing mistake, I'm not gonna lie. Look, our Moira's focused on doing damage, as you guys can see. She clearly kills the McCree. Alright, she couldn't do anything about the Genji, alright, but she's not even focusing on the Orisa that's pushing. It's all good though, right? But anyways, right here, my Orisa's right here. My, what's the thing called? My Moira's right here, right? She's doing damage to this Mercy. And she completely forgets that the Zenyatta needs healing. Look how low the Zenyatta is. Again, guys, it's a team-based game. If some of your teammates are not performing, if they're not playing the role correctly, aka Moira, she's not healing. The guy that needs healing, alright, you're just gonna fuck up. You're just gonna lose the game. So obviously Zenyatta dies because he doesn't have any healing. Moira's so focused on doing damage that she's out there doing her own thing. And I'm such a dumbass that I forget to prioritize the target that clearly needs to be taken out. The Brigitte. Brigitte. That's how you say it, by the way. They actually said it in the Overwatch League. So right there, I get out of that team fight telling my friend Landon, dude, we're kind of sucking right now because there are people in our team that aren't playing their specific role. Now, of course, I just want to point out, right? Like, you're doing great in Overwatch if you got 4 gold medals, all right? Because that's what that Moira had. That Moira, she had 4 gold medals, and she got those 4 gold medals by throwing her tickle orb to enemy teammates. Okay, so the Moira was like, you know what? We lost the match because this Widow's trash, because this Landon's trash, because this Orisa's trash. But the reality is she was so focused on being a DPS Moira and getting her gold medals that that's the exact reason why we lost, because she just wasn't healing. And that's why I can't stand a lot of Moira players, I'm not gonna lie. Moira's for some reason trying to do this left flank. At this point I tell Landon, it's a 5v6. We should just back away. Landon tells me, I don't know, maybe we can pull this off. I'm like, alright, fuck it. I'm gonna try my best. I see this Genji up here. I see this Hanzo shooting storm arrows at me. What I do is I don't try to challenge him, alright, because the storm arrows can be pretty devastating if he's accurate. I get out of his line of sight. That's another tip on dealing with storm arrows, guys. I want to point this out. How long is this video so far? 20 minutes. I'm gonna close it up real soon. I feel like we've learned a lot from this video. I get out of the line of sight from the Hanzo. Alright, look. Right here, we're doing another push. Coalescence is ready. We're kind of ready to do a push here. Now, for some reason, my Zenyatta, he's somewhere around here. And my Orisa, guess what? She's somewhere around here. Like, she's still at the border. Orisa just doesn't want to push to the front line. And of course, since my aim isn't the greatest, since I'm relying on my team, I can't take out this Mei. But it's all good, right? So Zenyatta, he activates Transcendence. But my Orisa doesn't push. And I'm not able to take out the Mercy. And I completely forget that target prioritization is a thing. And I needed to take out the Hanzo. And I needed to be hunting and looking out for him. So Zenyatta moves himself to a greater position. So right there, right? That was a bad play on my part. I wasn't playing my role in that fight. I admit it. Orisa gets killed, obviously, because she's just outside of position. Okay, right here, my Zenyatta's here. My Moira's here. My Sombra's here. What do they need to do? They need to back away. And they need to come back here to regroup with their team. But they don't do that, which is my fault. Alright. Oh, never mind. Moira's somewhere around here. The point is that, yeah, you know, those people were out of position. Okay. But yeah, this guy comes back. He's smart. I don't know where Landon is. Where the hell is Landon? Alright, but anyways, yeah, the point is, my friend Landon and I, we were constantly coordinating. I see the Hanzo. I learned from my mistakes. I try to take him out. I know the Mercy just wasted Guardian Angel, which means she can't, you know, she can't basically fly back. Okay, look, the Orisa's right here again, right? She sets up the drums. She starts moving forward. I take out the McCree. Okay, sadly, the Mei has her ultimate. And for some reason, for some unknown reason, we have people in our team that are, of course, they're not playing their role. Right here, I landed the shots that I needed to take. I helped out my team. What is going on with Mei? Some kind of... I landed the shots that I needed to take. I helped out my team as much as I could. But of course, guess where the Moira is, guys? The Moira is so focused on doing damage, right? That she completely doesn't understand that there's people here that are going to need her help. She could have been hitting the enemies and hitting our friendlies at the same time. Now, of course, she... I guess she teleported to like this side earlier on. But she should have been in the back line. Alright, like Moira's beam has so much range that you can be in the middle line or back line and still charge up your healing. But of course, this Moira, she didn't know what positioning was. Alright, and right here, well, like I said, you know, not the most accurate game ever. Or Orisa gets taken out because guess what? She just doesn't have any healing. Alright, I'm so focused on the Mercy that I forget that the enemy team has a Hanzo. And that's it. We lost the fight and we lost the game. Moira is asking, guys, question mark, when obviously it was her fault because she was out of position and the team had no heals. And of course, our Zenyatta goes to Soldier 76 when there's 1 minute left in the match. Alright, and that's pretty much it. We lost this match. Right here, I see that my teammates get picked off. I'm not going to go in there by myself. 5v1? Nah, I'm good. Okay? And then, of course... we have the Moira, right? You know, he got 4 gold medals. He knows what he's doing, right? So, the Moira goes on chat. I don't know if you guys can see it, but he says, can you report Salvajee and his friend? It's actually Salvajee with 2 E's. Can you report Salvajee and his friend? So, this Moira, right, he thinks we were throwing, but the reality is we lost this game because it was a team effort and we just weren't able to play as a team well enough. All right, the enemy team worked way better together than we did. All right, they were playing way better than we were. We lost as a team, not because I was bad, not because Moira was out of positioning, not because the tank didn't know how to push, not because Zenyatta kept being in the front line. We lost because it was all of our fault combined. And that's the point of this VOD review. Team play is very important with Widowmaker. Alright guys, and make sure that you're always trying to work with your team, coordinate with them, all that stuff. Obviously this was quick play. I don't like to go on team channel quick play. That's something that you can do if it's your thing. But I hope you guys enjoyed this VOD review. If you enjoyed it, drop a like. Again, I feel like I touched upon a lot of great things in this video. So make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel for more Widowmaker VOD reviews. I got a couple of Widowmaker guides coming in. And I got a couple of Fortnite guides and great Fortnite videos coming in soon. So see you guys in the next one. I hope this video helped out. And peace.